Keanu Reeves, a Hollywood star whose real-life story is as emotional and inspiring as the roles he plays. If you like this story, please like, subscribe and share. Keanu Charles Reeves was born on September 2, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon. Though his birthplace might sound glamorous, his childhood was far from it. His father, Samuel Reeves, left the family when Keanu was just 3 years old. This abandonment left an indelible mark on Keanu's life, creating a void that no amount of success could fill. His mother, Patricia, a costume designer, moved the family frequently in search of stability, leading Keanu to live in various places, including Australia, New York, and eventually Toronto, Canada. As a child, Keanu struggled with dyslexia, a learning disorder that made academics challenging. Reading and writing were battles he fought every day, often feeling isolated from his peers. His teachers described him as a daydreamer, a label that only deepened his feelings of being misunderstood. Despite his struggles in school, Keanu found solace in storytelling and movies. Watching films became his escape, a world where he could forget his problems and immerse himself in the lives of others. In Toronto, Keanu discovered his love for ice hockey. Known as The Wall for his incredible goalkeeping skills, he became a local sensation. But his dream of becoming a professional hockey player was cut short after a knee injury. This setback was devastating, as hockey was one of the few things that gave him a sense of purpose during his tumultuous youth. Adding to his struggles, Keanu's frequent relocations made it hard for him to form lasting friendships. He attended 4 different high schools in 5 years, dropping out at the age of 17. Despite these setbacks, Keanu's resilience began to shine through. He decided to focus on acting, a career that intrigued him for its ability to transform pain into art. The road to Hollywood was far from smooth. Keanu's early acting gigs were small roles in Canadian television shows and commercials. But even in these humble beginnings, he stood out for his dedication and raw talent. Slowly but surely, he began to make his mark in the entertainment industry, unaware of the global stardom and immense challenges that lay ahead. Keanu's decision to pursue acting brought him to Hollywood in the early 1980s. It was a daring leap, especially for a young man who had no formal training or connections in the industry. His early roles in films like Youngblood, 1986, and River's Edge, 1986, showcased his unique ability to portray both vulnerability and strength. Critics began to take notice, and Keanu's career slowly gained momentum. In 1989, he landed a role that would make him a household name, Ted Logan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The goofy, time-traveling teenager captured the hearts of audiences worldwide, cementing Keanu's place in Hollywood. While the film was a commercial success, Keanu faced skepticism from critics who questioned his acting depth, labeling him as a one-dimensional actor. This critique, though painful, fueled his determination to prove his versatility. As Keanu transitioned into the 1990s, he chose roles that challenged him, such as the intense, adrenaline-driven FBI agent in Point Break, 1991, and the Shakespearean hero in Much Ado About Nothing, 1993. However, his career reached a turning point with the release of Speed, 1994. The action-packed thriller, where he starred alongside Sandra Bullock, became a box-office sensation. Keanu was now an A-list actor, celebrated for his ability to carry blockbuster films. But behind the cameras, Keanu's life was far from glamorous. In 1993, he experienced a devastating loss when his best friend, River Phoenix, died of a drug overdose outside a nightclub in Los Angeles. River was not just a friend but a creative partner and confidant who understood Keanu's struggles like no one else. His death shook Keanu to the core, leaving him grappling with the fragility of life and the unpredictability of fame. Keanu buried his grief in work, accepting challenging roles and diving into physically demanding projects. It was during this time that he signed on for The Matrix, 1999, a film that would redefine his career and the science fiction genre. Playing Neo, the reluctant savior of a dystopian world, required Keanu to undergo rigorous martial arts training and perform complex stunts. His dedication paid off, as The Matrix became a cultural phenomenon, catapulting him to international stardom. However, success could not shield Keanu from heartbreak. In 1999, Keanu and his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, were expecting their first child, a daughter they had planned to name Ava Archer Syme Reeves. Tragedy struck when Ava was stillborn at 8 months. The loss was devastating, creating a rift in Keanu and Jennifer's relationship. Though they remained close, their grief was overwhelming, and they eventually separated. In April 2001, just 2 years after Ava's death, Jennifer died in a car accident. She had attended a party at Marilyn Manson's house and was driving home when her car crashed into a row of parked vehicles. Keanu was shattered. Losing both Jennifer and their daughter left him grappling with profound sorrow. He later remarked, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." The double blow of these tragedies could have broken anyone, but Keanu's resilience kept him moving forward. He turned to work as a means of coping, finding solace in the structure and creativity of filmmaking. Though he rarely spoke about his personal life, his pain was evident in the vulnerability and depth he brought to his roles. Through it all, Keanu remained grounded. He often avoided the trappings of fame, choosing to live modestly and focus on the craft of acting rather than the glamour of Hollywood. Yet, the losses he endured left a permanent mark, shaping him into a man who valued kindness, humility, and human connection above all else. The early 2000s marked a period of emotional turbulence and introspection for Keanu Reeves. While his career soared to unprecedented heights with the success of the Matrix trilogy, his personal life remained a storm of grief and longing for peace. The dichotomy between his professional triumphs and personal struggles became a defining aspect of his journey. As The Matrix Reloaded, 2003, and The Matrix Revolutions, 2003, were released, Keanu's portrayal of Neo resonated deeply with audiences. The film's themes of identity, purpose, and rebellion against fate mirrored his inner battles. For Keanu, playing Neo was more than just a role, it was a way to channel his emotions into something meaningful. He spent countless hours perfecting his stunts, immersing himself in the philosophy of the scripts, and working closely with the Wachowskis to bring their vision to life. Despite his success, Keanu maintained a distance from Hollywood's glitz and glamour. He famously avoided lavish lifestyles, often seen riding the subway, walking alone, or sharing quiet moments with fans. He lived in a modest home and avoided the celebrity party scene. This humility made him a beloved figure, someone who seemed untouched by the excesses of fame. Yet, his solitude was not always a choice. The losses he endured left him wary of forming deep connections. In interviews, he admitted that grief was a constant companion, one that he carried silently. "I don't want to escape it. I feel it deeply, and I don't want to avoid it or deny it," he said. His words revealed the depth of his emotional pain and his determination to find meaning despite it. Keanu found solace in his work, taking on diverse roles that allowed him to explore different facets of the human experience. In Something's Gotta Give, 2003, he played a charming doctor opposite Diane Keaton, showcasing his softer side. In Constantine, 2005, he embodied a tormented exorcist battling demons, a role that seemed to echo his own internal struggles. Outside of acting, Keanu turned to other creative outlets. He played bass guitar for the band Dogstar, pouring his emotions into music. Though the band never achieved massive success, performing live gave him a sense of freedom and connection with audiences. He also developed a passion for motorbikes, often riding through the streets of Los Angeles on his custom-built motorcycles. This love for bikes eventually led him to co-found Arch Motorcycle Company, a boutique brand that combined artistry and engineering, a project that brought him genuine joy. While Keanu's career continued to thrive, he remained acutely aware of the transient nature of success. He often spoke about the importance of appreciating life's simple pleasures, such as reading, spending time with friends, and savoring quiet moments. "You have to cherish being alive, he once said, a sentiment that reflected his outlook after enduring so much loss. Though he kept his personal life private, stories of his kindness began to emerge, further solidifying his reputation as one of Hollywood's most genuine stars. He was known for treating everyone with respect, from co-stars to crew members. On the set of The Matrix, he gifted a portion of his earnings to the special effects and costume teams, acknowledging their critical role in the film's success. Keanu's acts of generosity extended beyond the film industry. He quietly donated millions to children's hospitals and cancer research, inspired by his sister Kim's battle with leukemia. He often visited hospitals, spending time with young patients and their families, offering them moments of comfort and hope. Despite his struggles, Keanu's life was not devoid of happiness. His resilience and ability to find beauty in the smallest of things allowed him to keep moving forward. Whether it was through his art, his interactions with fans, or his quiet acts of kindness, Keanu carved out a life of purpose and meaning. But his journey was far from over. Little did he know that a chance opportunity in the next chapter of his career would reignite his passion for storytelling and lead to a profound personal and professional renaissance. By the late 2000s, Keanu Reeves had already cemented his place in Hollywood as an action star and a versatile actor. Yet, the grief he carried and the solitude he often chose kept him somewhat removed from the public eye. While his work continued, he took on fewer blockbuster roles, instead focusing on independent films and projects that resonated with him emotionally. Movies like The Lake House, 2006, where he reunited with Sandra Bullock, and Street Kings, 2008, showcased his ability to balance vulnerability with strength. However, the industry is ever-changing, and Keanu began to feel the weight of fading stardom. Despite his undeniable talent and iconic roles, he faced skepticism about his ability to stay relevant in a world constantly seeking the next big star. His projects in the early 2010s, though commendable, didn't achieve the massive success of his earlier work. It seemed as though the world had started to overlook him, a painful reality for any actor. But Keanu's story was far from over. A single script, one that would mirror his personal journey of loss and redemption, was about to reignite his career and remind the world of his brilliance. In 2014, Keanu was cast as John Wick, a retired hitman mourning the death of his beloved wife and seeking vengeance for the brutal killing of the puppy she had left him. The script's emotional core struck a chord with Keanu. It wasn't just another action film, it was a deeply personal story about grief, love, and resilience. Keanu threw himself into the role, training rigorously in martial arts, gun fu, and stunt choreography. He worked tirelessly to ensure that John Wick's pain and rage felt authentic, drawing from his own experiences of loss. The film's raw emotional undercurrent, combined with its groundbreaking action sequences, captivated audiences. John Wick was a surprise hit, earning critical acclaim and box office success. The character of John Wick was more than just another role for Keanu, it was a reflection of his own journey. Like John, Keanu had experienced devastating loss but refused to let it define him. The success of the film was cathartic, reigniting his passion for storytelling and reintroducing him as a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. The overwhelming success of John Wick spawned a franchise, with sequels that delved deeper into the character's world and psyche. With each installment, Keanu's performance was praised for its intensity and emotional depth. The action sequences were brutal and breathtaking, but it was John Wick's humanity, his love, his pain, his unyielding will, that resonated most with audiences. The resurgence of Keanu's career brought him back into the spotlight, but it didn't change his humble nature. He continued to live modestly, prioritizing experiences and relationships over material wealth. Stories of his kindness and generosity only grew. From giving up his seat on the subway to funding entire film crews out of his own pocket, Keanu's actions reflected his belief in the power of compassion. Keanu also began to embrace his status as a pop culture icon, delighting fans with his self-deprecating humor and genuine appreciation for their support. His internet nickname, the Internet's Boyfriend, became a testament to how beloved he was. Memes, interviews, and viral moments showcased his authenticity in his ability to laugh at himself, a rarity in Hollywood. Outside of acting, Keanu found joy in creative pursuits like writing and producing. He co-authored Ode to Happiness, 2011, and Shadows, 2016, introspective works that explored themes of melancholy and beauty. His motorcycle company, Arch, continued to thrive, allowing him to merge his passion for bikes with his artistic vision. Through it all, Keanu never lost sight of the things that truly mattered to him: his family, his friends, and his fans. He maintained a close relationship with his sister Kim, who had battled leukemia, and he often credited her strength as a source of inspiration. The world's renewed love for Keanu wasn't just about his on-screen roles, it was about the man behind the camera. He wasn't just a star, he was a survivor, a beacon of kindness and resilience in a world that often felt harsh and unforgiving. But even as he celebrated his resurgence, Keanu remained grounded, aware that life's highs and lows were fleeting. "Every struggle shapes you," he once said. "But it's how you face it that defines who you are." As Keanu Reeves entered the next phase of his life and career, his journey became a testament to the power of perseverance, humility, and kindness. The success of the John Wick franchise brought him not only immense professional acclaim but also a renewed sense of purpose. Fans and critics alike celebrated his ability to bring depth and humanity to a genre often defined by spectacle alone. But for Keanu, his legacy was about far more than box office numbers, it was about the impact he could have on the world around him. While many actors of his stature sought to expand their fame, Keanu used his platform to uplift others. He continued to donate quietly to causes close to his heart, including cancer research, children's hospitals, and programs supporting underprivileged youth. He never sought recognition for his generosity; in fact, many of his contributions only became public through stories shared by those he had helped. For Keanu, giving back wasn't about headlines, it was about making a difference. In 2019, Keanu experienced yet another career milestone with the release of John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. The film's critical and commercial success cemented the franchise as one of the most beloved action series of all time. But even in the midst of this triumph, Keanu maintained his unassuming nature. On press tours, he often deflected praise to his co-stars, stunt teams, and directors, emphasizing that filmmaking was a collaborative effort. That same year, he delighted fans with his surprise appearance in Pixar's Toy Story 4 as the voice of Duke Kaboom, a charming and over-the-top stuntman toy. The role showcased his playful side and endeared him to a new generation of viewers. It was a reminder that Keanu's appeal transcended genres and demographics. He had become a symbol of authenticity in an industry often criticized for its superficiality. In his personal life, Keanu began to open himself up to new possibilities. After years of solitude, he found companionship and love with Alexandra Grant, an artist and longtime friend. Their relationship, built on mutual respect and shared creativity, became a source of happiness and stability for Keanu. Fans were overjoyed to see him smiling and at peace, a stark contrast to the grief that had once defined much of his life. As Keanu approached his late 50s, he showed no signs of slowing down. His passion for storytelling and creativity continued to drive him. In addition to acting, he took on producing and writing roles, exploring new ways to contribute to the art he loved. Whether it was through his involvement in the Matrix Resurrections, 2021, or his upcoming projects, Keanu remained a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. But beyond his career, it was his humanity that resonated most deeply with those who admired him. Stories of his kindness continued to surface, how he stayed behind to help a stranded flight of passengers, how he patiently answered fans' questions, and how he made every person he met feel seen and valued. Keanu's life became a lesson in how to navigate success without losing one's soul, a blueprint for balancing ambition with compassion. Looking back on his life, Keanu reflected on the trials he had faced and the lessons they had taught him. "Life is fleeting," he once said in an interview. "We don't know how much time we have, but we do know that we can choose how we spend it." I want to spend mine creating, loving, and giving back. Keanu's legacy was not only about the films he made or the characters he played but also about the lives he touched along the way. He reminded the world that kindness was not a weakness but a strength, that grief could be transformed into art, and that even in the face of immense loss, it was possible to find joy and purpose. As the years passed, Keanu Reeves remained a symbol of resilience and hope, an enduring figure in Hollywood who proved that success could coexist with humility. His journey, from a troubled childhood to global stardom and personal redemption, was a story that inspired millions. And through it all, he stayed true to himself, a man who had seen both the best and worst of life and emerged stronger, wiser, and kinder. In the end, Keanu Reeves was not just a star. He was a survivor, a storyteller, and a beacon of light for a world that desperately needed it. His legacy was not just one of films but of humanity, a reminder that even in the darkest times, the human spirit could endure and shine.